One of the many ways to relax is by cozying up and treating yourself to some nice movies. In case you are confused about what to watch, do not worry, we've got you covered. Here are some top 10 movies trending at the cinemas and which you should consider watching. Opening the top 10 movies for the week is a 2020 Indian Hindi language road drama film titled Sedak. The film was directed by Mahesh Bhatt and produced by Mukesh Bhatt under their banner Vijesh Films. The film is the sequel to the 1991 film Sedak. The sequel stars Sanjay Dutt, Pooja Bhatt, Alia Bhatt, Jiju Singh Putta and Aditya Roy Kapoor. Sedak 2 was released on the 28th of August 2020 on the streaming platform Disney Plus Hotstar. The film received overwhelmingly negative reviews from critics who called it terrible and lackluster. Oh my! Sedak 2 was initially scheduled for release on 25th of March 2020 but was pushed to the 10th of July 2020 due to the outbreak of COVID-19. It was again pushed to a further date as the shooting was delayed due to the lockdown in India. Here is Sedak coming in at number 10. Kambili, The Whole 30 Yards. Kambili is a romantic comedy directed by Kayode Kasum and produced by Mimi Bartels for Film One. The movie stars Nancy Isime in the lead role alongside Jidekena Achufosi, Elvina Ibru, Sharon Uja, Mawuli Gavo, Tony Abraham, and so much more. The story centers on Kambili Maduka, an irresponsible, spoiled, spendthrift 28-year-old woman turning 29 in a few days, whose only desire is getting married before 30. However, after getting suspended from work due to her frequent lateness, she went on a date with her boyfriend who broke up with her there, dashing her hopes for getting married before 30. She then decided that what she needed to do was to prove to her boyfriend that she could be everything he wants her to be, which is a responsible, driven, and focused wife. The movie Kambili was released to the cinemas on the 16th of October 2020, taking up a 9th spot for the week. On the 8th spot is Gunjan Saxena, The Kajal Girl, a 2020 Indian Hindi language biographical film directed by Sharan Sharma and produced under Dharma Productions and Z Studios. The film stars Janvi Kapoor as an Indian Air Force pilot, Gunjan Saxena, one of the first Indian female Air Force pilots in combat, alongside Panjak Tripathi and Angad Bedi in supporting roles. Principal photography commenced in February 2019 and was wrapped up in October. It was extensively filmed across Lucknow. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the film was unable to release theatrically and was picked up for distribution by Netflix. It was released globally on 12th of August 2020. Gunjan Saxena here at number 8. The American supernatural horror thriller film The Empty Man grabs the 7th spot. Written, directed, and edited by David Parr, based on Colin Bunn and Vanessa R. Del Rey's graphic novel of the same name, published by Boom Studios. The film stars James Badge-Dale, Marion Ireland, Stephen Root, Ron Canada, Robert Aramayo, Joe Courtney, and Sasha Frolova. The Empty Man was theatrically released on October 23, 2020 by 20th Century Studios. The film was originally scheduled for release on 7th of August 2020 but was delayed to December 4th due to the pandemic, before being moved to October. At the box office, The Empty Man grossed $1.3 million from 2,027 theaters in its first weekend. The American thriller action film Honest Thief takes up the sixth spot. Directed by Mark Williams from a screenplay by Williams and Steve Ulrich, starring Liam Neeson, Kate Walsh, Jay Courtney, Jeffrey Donovan, Anthony Ramos, and Robert Patrick. The set follows a former bank robber who turned himself into authorities, only to be set up by them. After temporarily getting pulled from the schedule due to the ongoing pandemic, the film was set for release on October 16, 2020. Due to the lack of big budget competition, the film also played in IMAX and Dolby theaters. As of November 4, 2020, Honest Thief grossed $9.8 million in the United States and Canada and $9.3 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $19.2 million. At the box office in the United States, the film grossed $1.3 million from 2,425 theaters on its first day, including $225,000 from Thursday night previews screening. It went on to debut to $3.6 million, topping the box office. In its second week, the film made $2.4 million, remaining in the first position before being dethroned by a newcomer in the third week. Stepping into Margies' shoes, also dubbed as Sims, emerges at number 5 today on the countdown. Based on Opeyemi Akintode's book of the same title, Stepping into Margies' Shoes is a faith-based film about love, betrayal, and scandal. Sims tells the story of a young, wealthy pastor who is desired by most of the single and the married ladies in his congregation. The sudden loss of his previously unlettered dumpy wife to suicide opens the door to a new wife, many other sins, new challenges, and his ministry in disarray. The movie had a huge premiere at the Oriental Hall in Lagos on December 22nd, 2019. It was then slated for an April 2020 release, but the COVID-19 pandemic prevented that. Sims was finally released to the theaters on the 6th of November 2020. The movie features top Nollywood actors veterans like Femi Jacobs, Liz Benson, Okeria Anwobi, Juliana Oloyede, Kolade Segun Okeowo, Emma Oh My God, Uche Macaulay, Opeyemi Akintode, and Kayode Babalola. The movie is a metaphoric of reality in present-day Nigeria, addressing the rot in Christianity and the issues that Christendom and the church are largely silent about. And on the fourth spot is the American thriller horror film titled Complay, written and directed by Jacob Chase. It stars Gillian Jacob, John Gallagher as a Robertson, and Winslow Figley. The film follows the parents of an elementary school student with autism as they try to protect their young son from getting abducted by Larry, a villainous humanoid creature that preys on innocent children. The movie was theatrically released in the United States on October 30th, 2020 by Focus Feature and has received mixed reviews from critics. Complay made $1 million from 2,183 theaters on its first day, including $150,000 from Thursday night previews. It went on to debut to $3.2 million, coming in slightly above projections and topping the box office for that week. Temi Otedola makes her acting debut in the film Citation, alongside established actors like Jimmy Jean Lewis, Gabriel Afolayan, Ini Edo, Joke Silva, Ajete Anang, Bukumi Oluwashina, Ibukun Awoshika, and so much more. Citation is a 2020 Nigerian film directed by Kunle Afolayan and written by Tunde Babalola. The movie was released to Netflix on 6th of November 2020. Based on a true-life event, the film Citation follows Moremi Olua, a postgraduate student in Nigeria who takes on the academic establishment when she reports a popular professor who tries to rape her. We would have loved to see how its metrics at the box office would pan out, but it seems Kunle Afolayan, the director of the movie, won't be releasing the movie to the theaters and has gone straight to where the money is, which is on Netflix. Here is Citation coming in at number 3 on our list this week. At number 2 is The War with Grandpa, a 2020 American film comedy directed by Tim Hill from a screenplay by Tom J. Hale and Matt Ember, based upon the novel of the same name by Robert Kimmel Smith, starring Robert De Niro as Ed and Ox Figley as his grandson Peter, along with Uma Thurman, Rob Wrigley, Laura Marano, Chuck Marin, Jane Seymour, and Christopher Walken. The movie is about a young boy who works to get his grandpa to move out of his room when he moves in with his family. Shot for 6 weeks, the studio spent an estimated $24 million promoting the film. As of November 4th, 2020, at the box office, The War with Grandpa had grossed $11.7 million in the United States and Canada and $5.7 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $17.4 million. In the US, the film made $1.1 million from 2,250 theaters on its first day of release. It went on to debut to $3.6 million, becoming the first film to top Tenet at the box office. In its second weekend, the film grossed $2.5 million, finishing second behind the newcomer Honest Thief, and then made $1.9 million in its third weekend and $1.1 million in its fourth. Here is War with Grandpa coming in at number 2. Finally, on the number 1 spot is the movie Let Him Go. Following the loss of their son, a retired sheriff and his wife leave their Montana ranch to rescue their young grandson from the clutches of a dangerous family living off the ridge in the Dakotas. Let Him Go is a 2020 American neo-Western drama film produced, written, and directed by Thomas Bezucha, based on the 2013 novel of the same name by Larry Watson. It stars Kevin Costner and Diane Lane as a retired sheriff and his wife. The film was released by Focus Features on November 6, 2020. It was previously scheduled to be released on August 21st, 2020, but was delayed due to the pandemic. At the box office, Let Him Go made $1.5 million from 2,454 theaters on its first day, including $150,000 from Thursday's night previews. It went on to debut to $4.1 million, becoming the second straight Focus Features film to top the box office after Come Play at the week prior. Here is Let Him Go, coming in at number 1 for this week. That's all we have for this week on Movie Countdown. Do join us for more next week as we bring you more thrilling movie lineups. This is TV Independent. Thank you for watching.